Hello and welcome to the Daily Mill for Friday, the 8th of December 2023. In today's Millwall news, we start with this. More details about Casper De Nor's injury have been revealed. This is from southernnews.co.uk. We feared it may be longer. Joe Edwards reveals how long Casper De Nor is set to be out for after Millwall midfielder visits a specialist. Millwall were concerned the injury could keep him out for longer, but the Belgian could be ready to return sooner rather than later. Joe Edwards has set a timeline on when Casper De Norre might return from injury. The Belgian midfielder missed last week's 1-1 draw against Sunderland after picking up a calf strain. There had been some fears that the issue might see him spending months on the sidelines, but the Millwall boss said De Norre might be ready to train as soon as mid-January. Speaking in his virtual press conference ahead of tomorrow's trip to Cardiff, Edwards said, "We got the news from the specialist. We won't see him this side of Christmas, and this diagnosis we're seeing should mean he's fit and ready to train probably around mid-January, and then it would just be a case of seeing how we do progress between now and then. And when we do get around that mark, the difference between being fit and ready to train and then being match fit and ready to come into the team remains to be seen, and we'll see how he progresses. It's still a disappointment as between now and then. We do have a fair amount of games where we're going to lose a key player for us, but it's a tricky injury, and at one point when he was seeing a specialist, we feared it may be potentially longer, but it doesn't appear to be so. Edwards said after the Sunderland game that De Norre's injury was unusual. He said, "It's quite an unusual injury. It's a lower calf injury that's crept into the Achilles a bit as well. It's an unusual one." And that was it. So there you go. Now, moving on to this news coming out. I told you. The game has been moved to an early kickoff. Told you about the 10 London teams being drawn at home over that FA Cup weekend. And even though we've already seen Crystal Palace game moved to Thursday, Tottenham game moved to Friday, Arsenal game moved to, was it Sunday? Sunday. We have had our kickoff moved to 12:30. I think because it's been it does. It says there it's been selected for overseas broadcast. So I don't know what market that's for then. Because they can watch games at 3 o'clock. So is this from? It's not going to be for America, is it? Is it for Asia? Maybe it's for Asia. I don't know. 12:30, 12 midday would be. What would that be? That would be early morning in America. So I don't think it's for them. So who the fuck are they? Who have they changed the kickoff for? I don't know. But yeah, China. So this is from millfc.co.uk. Mill's Emirates FA Cup third round tie against Leicester City will take place on Saturday, the 6th of January 2024, but the kickoff will be at 12:30 p.m. The two Sky Bet Championship sides will battle it out for a place in round 4 at the Den, with the fixture selected for overseas broadcast. Tickets for the match are now on sale, priced at £15 for adults, £10 for over 63s, £10 for 18 to 21s, £6 for under 18s, and £5 for under 16s. But that's just for season ticket holders' own seats. Any extra tickets or general sale tickets are £5 more generally, except when you get to under 18s, that's £2 more, and under 16s is just £1 more. So the Barry Kitchener stand, the Dockers lower, and the Coldblow Lane lower will be the only areas open for this game. Well, that's good, isn't it? Because that's not the. Why are they doing that? Why not the upper? At least you get a decent view. I'm not a big fan of the lower sections. I always sit in the upper sections wherever I've been. The lower section, I'm not a big fan of the view from down on pitch side, to be honest with you. So there you go. So I assume that the away stand will be open as well then. But yeah, a bit of a weird one. They've not any mention of members, so it looks like they're not trying to sell more tickets. Well, they obviously are trying to sell more tickets, but the way they're doing that is they're giving season ticket holders discount Because obviously they've already shelled out a massive chunk of money for the whole season, and generally you get the deal. The reason why the cup games are so uh, poorly attended, generally, if they're not a big game, is that the season ticket holders don't turn up because it's extra money for them. Um, and it's not like they've already shelled out a large amount, so it's extra money for them, and they probably haven't budgeted for it. But kind of unusual that they're doing this just for season ticket holders. Obviously, we've had record season ticket sales this season. Something that was 8,000, 9,000. So obviously they're trying to get as many as them to come. But if you've only got the Barry Kitchener stand, the Dockers lower, and the Coldblow Lane lower, and they've said that's for your own seats, obviously. So there's going to be a cut-off time when you can't buy your own seat for a cup game, and they release it. I don't know. But what if you don't? What if you're in the Dockers upper? You obviously then you can't buy your own seat. You're gonna have to move seats anyway. So I'm sure if you are a season ticket holder, you don't want to go through all that bollocks. And you'll just find a stream online because it's being broadcast overseas, and that means there will be dodgy streams all over the place. So there you go. But yeah, weird that they're not doing like season ticket holders and members at a lower price and then general sale at a higher price, just season ticket holders. But hey, what can you do? What can you do? Now moving on to obviously Friday, we have kind of player interviews and stuff on Fridays. With both of the newspapers generally, but more often than not, the South London Press, because they do publish on Fridays and Tuesday as well. But Friday is their big day. So this is from londonnewsonline.co.uk, the South London Press's online website. Arsenal loanee Brook Norton-Cuffy on life under Joe Edwards and seeing out the season at Millwall. Brook Norton-Cuffy did his homework on new Millwall head coach Joe Edwards when he heard the former Everton and Chelsea assistant was set to land a permanent job at the Den. The Arsenal loanee was brought in on a season-long loan stint under Gary Rowett after a successful season that saw him reach the Championship playoff final with Coventry. England youth international Norton-Cuffy asked around about Edwards, who left his role as under-20 head coach of the Three Lions to ensure he hit the ground running under the new incoming boss. I spoke to a few people, Norton-Cuffy told the South London Press. I know a few players from around the academy system who work with him at England under 20 level. Ryan Andrews from Watford being one. Everyone had nothing but good things to say about him. I spoke with coaches as well, and it was the same. When I heard he was coming in, I had a gist of what it was about. You know, I've never really enjoyed working with. I've really enjoyed working with Joe so far, and I feel as though I'm improving every day as a player under him. I'm just getting better and better. Hopefully, I can continue the form and keep it up. It's really exciting under him, you know. I feel as though he's making everyone's game a lot better. We just need to give him time, and we'll start seeing the results to start forming, yeah. But as an individual, I feel as though I am improving every single day that I am with him. Norton-Cuffy registered his first assist for the Lions last time when he set up Kevin Nisbet for the opener in their 1-1 draw at home to Sunderland. He also scored his first goal in Edwards' first game in charge, a 4-0 win at Sheffield Wednesday. It's something I spoke about a lot coming into the season, but it takes a bit of time for things to gel, you know. Now I've got a goal and an assist, so hopefully I can keep the ball rolling and get some more. I feel as though I'm getting better game by game. We just need to focus on picking up points. We can't look too far ahead. The championship changes really quickly, and all it takes is a good run of form. All I want to do right now is win games, improve as a player, add to my stats, and pick up points on the way. And this is my second season in the Championship, so it's a bit different from last season. Things were a bit new to me in my first campaign, you know. I played quite a few games in this division now, and I kind of know what's expected of me. It's about me affecting games in the Championship now and trying to be a standout in my games, and that's the bar for me now. I'm playing well, but for myself, I still feel like there's a lot more that the fans haven't seen from me yet. He has been deployed at right back, also as a right midfielder for the Lions this season. Really and truly, I'm a right back. That's my main position, added Norton-Cuffy. I feel as though it's my best position, yeah. But if the manager needs me, and I spoke to him about it as well, you know, I can play anywhere down the right side, and I'll play in the position I'm needed to play. If the manager needs me at right back or right wing back, right wing, or even at left back, whatever it is, then I'll play there, you know. The 19-year-old's performances have seen him jump up to Lee Carsey's England under-21 squad for the first time this season. He made his debut as a late substitute in the 3-2 defeat against Ukraine and played the full second half for the young Three Lions in the 3-0 win over Northern Ireland at Goodison Park. I'm really enjoying it, said Norton Cuffy of stepping up. I have tough competition there in my position with the likes of Rico Lewis and Tino Liveramento. The challenge is good and I'm enjoying working with the staff. I'm working with some great players as well, you know. The little time away gives me something different to think about. They show me areas of the game that I might not see and need to improve on as well. Norton Cuffy has made 16 appearances for South London this season, already triggering a clause in his loan deal from the Gunners, which means they are unable to recall him from the Den this campaign. Despite having loan spells at Lincoln City, Rotherham and Coventry to his name already, this is set to be the first time Norton Cuffy will see out a full season at a club. He added, you can really set a marker when you're at a club for a whole season rather than half a season. I don't really know all about the clauses and stuff like that, you know. I'm here now and I'm enjoying my football at Millwall, and let's carry on. There you go. That's encouraging, isn't it? That is encouraging. Now, moving on to an interview from a young man to a slightly older man. This is from southernnews.co.uk. It's Sean Hutchinson. He is closing in on 250 Millwall appearances. Millwall gets me and I get Millwall. Sean Hutchinson reflects on his latest Lions milestone and explains why he completely understands his new head coach's plans. Arriving at the club in 2016, Sean Hutchinson has become part of the furniture at the Den and is closing in on 250 Millwall appearances. Sean Hutchinson is excited about the potential of Joe Edwards imprinting his philosophy on Millwall's DNA, but has warned patience will be the key. The captain could make his 250th appearance against Cardiff City on Saturday and has experienced one of his most intriguing changes during his 7 years at the club. Head coach Edwards' remit is not just to get results, but to try and make the Lions' style of play easier on the eye. Hutchinson, who missed 13 games with injury this season, believes Millwall's head coach is a pragmatist who will implement changes in a sensible way. He told News at Den, I think that well, you know, I think what makes team he's from Newcastle. He's from the northeast. Well, man, you know, I don't. I think what makes teams great when you can mix it with both sets of styles. I think I think Joe's made very clear. He's not coming in here to pass the ball between centre back to keeper for the whole game. That's not what he wants. He just wants to be a little bit more in control in games and pass through the lines. And you can go long, but maybe go long with more of a purpose. He's very aware of who Millwall are, and he's made that clear. He's not coming in here to just start messing around with it at the back and just passing for the sake of passing. There's always going to be a purpose as to why we're doing it. As much as Joe's come in, and he's a great coach, and we're trying to change our identity a little bit, one thing that's expected, regardless of who the manager is hard work. Winning the 50-50s, winning your one-on-one battles, that's the kind of thing where, regardless of the style of play, if you're not doing them, you're going to struggle. I just think at the moment we've just kind of come away from that, and we need to make sure we still get the balance right. And if we can do that as well as progress with the possession, I think we could be a real decent team. Since he's come in, the lads are thoroughly enjoying it, and we're trying to do what we can to work with him to get the results that we need. It's never easy coming in the middle of the season when you have a pre-season and you can work with things. It's very different. So I think it's very important that the fans and players are patient. As we've seen over the years with many top managers, a lot of them don't get things clicking straight away. It takes a while. Hutchinson has experienced plenty during his years at the Den, and ahead of his latest milestone appearance, said the welcoming nature of Millwall made him want to dedicate years of his career to the club. He said, when I first joined, I came from Fulham, and I didn't feel as involved as I wanted to. Then Millwall opened their arms to me, and ever since they've been welcoming and done nothing but support me the whole time I've been here. I feel like when a club does that to you, you owe loyalty and trust in them back. Ever since I walked through the door, I've loved every part of it. Millwall gets me and I get Millwall. And I think that combination speaks volumes. On the topic of his favourite memories at the club, Hutchinson points to the 2017 League One playoff final win over Bradford City. A late goal by Steve Morrison saw Millwall take a 1-0 win and a promotion, and Hutchinson sees the moment as a huge step in taking the Lions forward to now being an established championship outfit. Hutchinson said, you're always going to look at the big occasions like the playoff final and things like that. And that was massive because the club have traditionally bounced up and down the leagues, Championship to League One. And I just think when I joined the club, there was one aim: to get promoted. And not just to get promoted, but to establish ourselves in this division over the long run. And when I look back now at how different things could have been if we hadn't won that game, my favourite winner would have probably be that. I know there's been FA Cup games and last minute winners, but in terms of what could have been, I just think how different things could have been. So I always think of that game as massively important. Back to the present day, and Millwall won just one of the last 9 games, which covers the final match of Gary Rowett's period as manager, Adam Barrett's caretaker spell, and the start of Edwards' reign. Hutchinson wants the players to find their confidence and believes better results are not that far away. He said, well, it only takes 1 or 2 results and then the confidence get right back up there again. Me looking from the outside, it's definitely something we need to improve on and find our confidence as players, because I don't think we're particularly getting the best out of many of our players right now. I think Joe's seen that. He sees that there's talent there and that there's a good group there. I think it's just about trying to get his messages across, but also at the same time, picking our confidence up a little bit and getting us playing with a bit of confidence and freedom and spirit of what's been good with us going over the last few years. So there you go. Sean Hutchinson could be making his 250th Millwall appearance tomorrow at Cardiff City. Now, moving on to this, Millwall have hosted their Christmas Tree of Remembrance ceremony. It took place on Thursday night at the Den, so yesterday night. Millwall Football Club and Millwall Community Trust hosted the Lions' annual Christmas Tree of Remembrance service on Thursday night at the Den. The service, led by Father Owen Bowman, MBE, took place in Harry's Bar and at Millwall's Memorial Garden, where supporters then able to hang a star with a message on the club's Christmas tree to remember those who have sadly been lost. Christmas carols were sung, drinks were drunk, and mince pies were eaten. And you can take a look at the photos from the night below. Someone has put a message there to John Berylson. So there you go. Get the kids getting involved. Mince pies there. And there you go. So now moving on to this. Millwall doing a sale code, flash sale. Millwall Football Club's Lions Saw is experiencing a flash sale between 9 a.m. on Friday the 8th of December and midnight on Monday the 11th. So this weekend. Yeah, but they've never. So we got fans around the world now. We're an international outfit. Is that GMT or what? You need to put the time. What time? GMT. I assume you're talking about. You need to let the fans around the world know. You can benefit from 25% off when using the code Lions Event. Up for grabs are items such as the club's 23-24 home, away, and third kits, goalkeeper shirts, and more. So I think it might be like the sale for. They did one for Black Friday, Thanksgiving. That was 30% off, and it was only selected stuff. Most of the kits are the stuff that people actually want. Although I did buy some things, and they did come pretty quickly, and it was all easy. It was all pretty good, but they didn't have any orange shorts, only the kids ones. So I don't know if they're going to get any more in or what. So, but yeah, I did take advantage of that, and online, I ordered it online, and it came in good time. It was all fine, no problems at all. So there you go. They seem to have sorted out their problems and their issues now. Now, moving on to this, if you're not going to order online and you want to go down to the store, when can you go down there? Well, now they say here stadium open. What does that mean? Does that mean the Lions store? Because they got the ticket office, but they don't mention if the store is open. So yeah, this is from millwestc.co.uk. It's the club's opening hours over the Christmas period. So they say Friday the 22nd, ticket offices open 9:30 to 4 p.m. See, there's a game on Saturday, like Stoke away, and they say the stadium's closed. But what does that mean? What does that mean? Does that mean the Lions store's closed? Because that's the only thing that's in the stadium that's public that people can go to, isn't it? Generally, the stadium is closed. You can't go in the stadium. But yeah, 24th of December to obviously everything's closed. It's a Sunday. Monday the 25th, everything's closed. Boxing Day, there's a game home to QPR, 1 p.m. kickoff. The ticket office will be opening at 10 a.m. to half time, and then it will open after full time whistle. So you're gonna have a little break. Wednesday, everything's closed. Thursday, the 28th, ticket office open, stadium's open. There's a home game again on Friday. That's 7:45 kickoff, so that's evening kickoff. But the ticket office is open at 9:30 in the morning, all the way through to half time in that game, which will be about 8:30 ish. And it's open after the game again, and obviously they're closed the next day because there's a bit of a late night for them. Closed on Saturday the 30th, everything's closed. Sunday the 31st, obviously Sunday and New Year's Eve, everything's closed. And then on Monday the 1st, everything's closed again. So there you go. I could make it a bit clearer. Stadium open, stadium closed. What does that mean? What the hell does that mean? Now, start to preview the game. We've actually got a game tomorrow. We've run through all the news. You actually have to talk about this game. So this is the historical record between Cardiff City and Millwall from 11v11.com, this historical stats website. It's got the fixtures here over many different leagues, many different competitions, going to Cardiff over many years, going all the way up to 1930s up to the present day, so nearly coming up to 100 years of visiting Cardiff. What are we on, 93 years, and quite a lot of red, a lot of draws, and when we do win, it seems to be in streaks. So we had a single win in 1937 April, but that was in front of that and after that many defeats and many draws. And then in 1971, a win. 1974, 1975. So weirdly, 1976, 2 draws back to back in March 1976, September 1976. Does seem to be quite a few draws, because again in 2015, 2017, 2 nil draws back to back. Like I said, we have a streaky patch. So we had that streaky patch in the early 70s. Then we have a streaky patch at the end of the 90s, going into 2000s, where we won in the Auto Windscreen Shield in 1997. And then 2003 we won. That was in December. And then 2005. So we went through, what's that, 5-game run without losing. But then, weirdly, more recently, 2015, 2017, obviously 2 nil draws in a row, but after that, 2 1-1 draws in a row. And then we lose in 2021, and then finally, after, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games, the 9 visits to Cardiff, going all the way back to 2006, 9 visits, we don't win, plenty of draws, but not a win. And then last year, January 2023, we win. Or last season, we win 1-0 for first time in many years. So yeah, a bit of a weird one, this fixture. It's a game that we lose. We do draw it quite a lot, and if we win, it seems to be in streaks. So, which could be a good omen, because we obviously won the last one, so this might be the start of a streak. But who knows? There have also been quite a few bashings. 4-1 in 1977, that was in December as well, it's just after Christmas. 6-0. That was in January in the new year 1948. A 4-4 draw. How many 4-4 draws have we had in our history in 1930? 4-4 draw. So it's a bit mixed bag, really. It's all over the place. You can't really garner anything from that. Now this here. This is from whoscored.com. Previous meetings between the clubs. The last 6. We've won 1, lost 1, and drawn 4. We've only, what a low scoring. Look, Jesus, both teams averaging less than a goal a game, obviously because of those 2 0-0 draws. But we did keep a clean sheet last time when we won 1-0. So they've, in those 6 games, they've scored 5, we've scored 4. They've got 14 yellow cards though. If we go back up to the top right hand side, match facts. Cardiff has seen under 2.5 goals in 7 of their last 8 home matches against Millwall in all competitions. Like I said, not a lot of goals. Millwall have won their last 3 matches against Cardiff in all competitions. Obviously that includes home and away. So there you go. We've won 3 matches, last 3 matches against Cardiff, home and away. If we scroll down and look at the table, they are 11th, we are 19th. Only 6 points, and they've lost as many games as us. They've lost 8, and they've conceded 23. We've conceded 26, so not that much difference really. It's just that obviously the amount of wins we have compared to draws. We've got 3 less wins and 3 more draws than them, and that's the difference. That's where we are. So if we can sort that by doing that. No, we can't. No, I think the internet's gone again. It's not loading. Video error, yeah. I think the internet's crashed again. So I probably won't be able to. No, I can do that though. I can change the table. So in the home table, Cardiff played 9. They won 5, drawn 1, lost 3. Scored 15, conceded 10 at home. So they're mid-table at home team. Obviously their last 2 they've lost, you can see here. We can do it up here. So their last home games, I can't do it down here, but I can do it up here. So their last 6 home games at home, they lost 1-0 to West Brom. They lost 3-2 to Norwich. They beat Bristol 2-0. A 1-1 draw with Watford. 2-0 win over Rotherham. And a 3-2 win over Coventry. So they've got the 3-2 in them. So they can do the whole shootout. They had a 3-2 win and a 3-2 defeat. They kept a clean sheet a couple of times, is it? Against Rotherham, clean sheet, and against Bristol City. So pretty much a mixed bag there of results. But more recently, they failed to score against West Brom. So there you go. Now, in terms of Millwall's away form, we are 7th in the away table. That's the only thing that's propping us up and keeping us out of that relegation zone, I'm afraid. Although our last away game was the abysmal affair at Ipswich, I believe, wasn't it? Yeah, it was that 3-1 at Ipswich. Before that, it was the 4-0 win at Sheffield Wednesday, and then 2-2 draw Watford under the other guy, Barrett. That should have been a win, and then Preston 1-1, and the Plymouth win. So yes, we've only lost twice away at home to both teams in East Anglia, Norwich and Ipswich. So that is interesting, isn't it? We've only conceded 10 goals in 9 games, so that's averaging just over 1 per game. Okay, so form guide though. What about recent form? So both teams have lost 3. Obviously, they've won 2, drawn 1, and we've won 1, drawn 2. But we've scored more goals than them recently. We've scored 8 in those 6. They've scored 6 in 6. So they're averaging a goal a game. Okay. Teams' strengths and weaknesses. and style of play. Match forecast: Cardiff will score from a direct free kick, Millwall will score from a set piece situation, and Millwall will control the game in the opposition's half. Okay, now moving on to this, also from WhoScored.com. This is the actual prediction, so here we go. So, Cardiff could provide no response to an early Adam Armstrong brace last time out, as they were beaten 2-0 on their visit to St Mary's by an informed Southampton side. Errol Boulet's men have lost 3 of their last 4 league matches, dropping away from the playoff battle in the process. So they are in a bad run of form. Winnable game? Millwall on course for a confidence-boosting 3 points against Sunderland last weekend until a late Jack Clark penalty levelled the scoreline in London. Joe Edwards' side are now winless in the last 3 league games and have dropped to 19th in the standings heading into game week 20th. And they predict Cardiff 1, Millwall 1. Now, moving on to SkySports.com, Sky Bet Championship predictions from David Prutton. What do we see here? Let's scroll down and see how far down we are. Here we go. David Prutton predicts Cardiff 2 and Millwall 0. Yes, obviously they're in a bad run of form. We're doing alright now. Now that we're not just playing tippy-tappy football and going gung-ho. Obviously we still have to see, we've got players missing, important players missing, and I don't think we have the depth in squad to just replace them and expect the same results. I'm expecting a different kind. I'm expecting a more pragmatic style, more defensive, and I think it's going to be a draw. I'm going to go for a 0-0 draw. If we go back to the results, you can see 0-0 does seem, in my opinion, to be overly represented. Though we have played them a lot of times at Cardiff, but what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 0-0s. That's quite a lot of 0-0s, I think. And we do draw quite a few times when we go there, especially recently. So I would not be surprised for a draw, maybe the 1-1, but almost certainly probably a 0-0. I think the game should go ahead, but there is rotten rain running through the country from the west, coming in from the west. If I just pull up my phone and have a little look at the rain radar. So it's raining right now over there in Cardiff, and it's set to keep raining until about 5 a.m. So 3 hours of rain. You would think that the game should still go ahead, but maybe it might be waterlogged. I don't know. Obviously, in this freezing weather, all the clubs in this level have got undersoil heating, but there's not much you can do to waterlogged pitch, unless if they got the covers on already. I don't know, but yes, that might be a hindrance to a good game of football. So I'm going to go 0-0, and that's my prediction. And that is it. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.